Let's move on now to main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Thomas Levesque, who writes, "What's going on, John and crew? As someone who lives in New York City, really happy to hear that Governor Cuomo is allowing New York City theaters on March 5th, just in time for Raya and Godzilla vs. Kong. My question is, do you think films like Black Widow and Fast 9 will still have a chance to open up in May, or could they still get delayed? Thanks for answering my question, and let's hope summer movie season 2021 is saved." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Thomas. And yeah, this was a little bit of a surprise, but a welcome one nonetheless. News came out yesterday that they are going to, I believe in March, Rob, I believe they said in March, they are going to start permitting movie theaters to open up, certainly with some restrictions. Let's go over and take a look at what some of those restrictions are going to be. This comes to us from Variety, who writes, "After nearly a year of closures, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has given movie theaters in New York City permission to reopen at limited capacity starting on March 5th. During his daily press briefing, the Empire State Leader said cinemas in the city will be permitted to operate at 25% capacity with no more than 50 people. Moreover, other safety measures such as masks, social distancing, and heightened sanitizing measures will be required." Now, these are all things, Rob, that I have experienced. You know, of course, back when New Mutants came out, I made the drive to Las Vegas, went to an AMC theater there. They did a fantastic job. I as a person who's a little paranoid about the COVID stuff, I was very comfortable. Their precautions, their safety measures, their cleaning procedures. I felt really good being in that theater, and it was great. So it sounds like this will be a part of that. This, if you're a film fan, this is great news. It's still got to be taken with a grain of salt. It still has to be taken cautiously. But nonetheless, it is great news. I've been allowing myself, Rob, maybe foolishly, a little bit lately, to be feeling a little bit more optimistic. Today in California is day 40 of every day having fewer new COVID cases than the day before. We're on a 40-day streak. About a month and a half ago, we hit like 40,000 new cases a day. That dropped to like 35 to 30 to 20 to 15. We're now down to about 6, which 6,000 new cases a day is still 6,000 way too much, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we are 40 days now in a row. Rob, what I think happened, and I don't know this for sure, but I think when we hit that unbelievable spike of like 30, 40,000 just in California alone and nationwide, I think that woke a lot of people up.
Yeah.
And I think when we hit that 400, we've now passed 500,000 fatalities, but I think it woke a lot of people up. Take things more seriously. We're getting millions of people vaccinated per day now. Rob, I'll tell you what, Ann and I went to an outdoor shopping center a few months ago, and we were walking around, and maybe 3 out of every 10 people were wearing masks. Ann and I went to an outdoor shopping center this weekend because she needed to go and get something, and maybe 1 out of every 10 wasn't wearing one. It's just, I mean, that's just anecdotal, but it's just kind of a visual thing about how some people kind of change their things. And I don't think it's coincidental that now we're seeing numbers drop. So seeing numbers dropping, we need to see them drop faster. Immunizations rolling out. Now seeing New York is going to start opening things up. I hear Los Angeles is not going to be far behind as well in California, which I'm excited about. The question then becomes, does this mean that like this May release date for Black Widow, can it hit that May release date? Rob, I was just being optimistic, but I'm going to stay a little pessimistic on this one. I still think May is a little bit too early. I've been saying that for a while. I don't think it's far off, but I think May is too early. I'm still thinking, and I don't know this, no insider information here. I'm still thinking they bump Black Widow one more time. But I think when they bump it, it'll be like a 30 to 60 day bump. Not like a 4-month bump or an 8-month bump. I think it'll be like a 30 to 60 day bump. And Rob, you and I have always said, this is a situation that evolves and changes day by day. Things look promising right now. That could change 48 hours from now. But if things keep moving in this direction, I think it's possible they could release Black Widow in their May release date. We're just in February right now. I still think it's going to get one more bump. Rob, you're seeing this stuff. New York is going to open theaters again under certain restrictions. It looks like Los Angeles is not far behind. What do you think about this overall in general? And specifically when you look at upcoming films coming very soon, specifically something like Black Widow, what do you think this looks like for them?
Well, Cuomo is sort of under fire for this whole nursing home conduct during COVID. And I think
everybody wants some media distraction.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that here. But look, let's assume it's not a cynical way to distract the media. I'm optimistic about this. I mean, again, we're going to have to open up sometime. And as long as social distancing practices and sanitary practices are observed, I think with people being vaccinated, I'm optimistic. I mean, maybe we might have a bit of a summer movie season. I certainly hope so. John, our movie theaters have been closed since March of last year in LA, and I can't believe that. I find that stunning to me that it's now been a year since I've been in a movie theater, a real year, a full-on year. And I want to see movie theaters open. I really want to go back to the movies, and I am optimistic. But like you, I think May is overly optimistic. But let's hope so. But remember, just because movie theaters are opening doesn't mean they can still throw out the next tentpole film in a theater, because they need enough theaters open. Obviously, theaters in China are open, and I want to make sure that theaters in Europe are open, and theaters. I can't go any longer without seeing Justice for Han, John. And I want to see it in a theater, man. I want to see No Time to Die. I want to see Black Widow. I want to see The Eternals. I want to see all these movies that I'm dying to see. I want to see Dune, John. Dune. The spice must flow in my local theater.
The spice must flow. I'll tell you what, though, too. Like, I've had some more pressing ones come up. I didn't give a crap about Godzilla versus Kong. But I got to see that in a theater now. It's funny because Ray and I were talking the other day, and I think Ray and I have decided, first, the Godzilla versus Kong thing, we're like, okay, we are going to drive to Vegas to go and see Godzilla, because I got to see that on the big screen. I just cannot see that on a effing television. I got to see that on the big screen. And then the Mortal Kombat trailer came out. And Ray's like, calls me, we got to go see Mortal Kombat on the big screen. And I was like, well, there we go. We've got 2 dates that we're going to, but maybe it looks like we may not have to drive to Vegas in March to do that. Maybe they'll be open here as well. And I'll tell you what, if they can do what they did so successfully in those theaters in Vegas with the procedures and the safety precautions, I'll be there. I'll be there. I don't live with my mother. Maybe if I did, I wouldn't do that. I've got some friends of mine that, a married couple friend of mine that have their mom living with them right now. Then that would be irresponsible. But, hey, it's just me and Ann. So yeah, I think I'm going to go. Anyway, question here is, guys, what do you think about this? That finally, after a year, it looks like New York is, and LA may not be far behind, finally opening up the movie theaters again. What could that mean for some of the upcoming films? I still think it might be a little bit early, but we'll have to wait and see. Question is, guys, what do you think? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.